Hey peeps, what's going on everybody? It's Am from CancerMoonsTarot, and I'm coming at you guys with your August 2022 Book of Answers check-in. How are you guys? I hope you guys are well. Thank you guys for those of you that are returning to the series. I hope you guys have been enjoying it so far. Really appreciate it. For those of you that don't know how this works, basically this is a Book of Answers. It literally just has answers in it. The intention behind the book is to answer people's questions, but for me, I personally like to look at this as a way to convey intuitive messages to people. So, in this series, I go from the traditional way of Aries to Pisces. You can find all the timestamps in the description and the comment section below, and I provide 2 messages on an intuitive level for each zodiac sign for their month ahead or whatever time frame that I'm reading. So without further ado, let's go ahead and begin and see what we got going on. Starting out here with the zodiac signs of Aries. What do we got for your August 2022? Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus throughout their August 2022. Looking at their first message, we do have here, you know now better than ever before. So you have experience here, Aries, in a certain situation right now, and I think you can use this experience to your advantage. That's at least how the message is coming off to me, so I don't know if this is about re-entering a certain type of cycle. For some of you guys, this could be about re-entering a competition that's kind of like really out there, but maybe some of you guys are re-entering a competition you already have experience on. If that's the case, cool, you kind of know the ropes and you know what to do. Regardless though, you know better now than ever before. That's essentially a statement of saying you have some sort of experience that's going to aid you in a situation that's coming up. It could be a repetitive situation, so there might be a repetitive cycle coming up at bay for a few of you guys. Moving on to the next message for you though, let's go ahead and have a look. What's going to be the next message here for Aries regarding their August 2022, and we have here, be tactful. It is definitely time to be tactical here, Aries. I feel like whatever's going on here, you have experience jumping into August 2022 in reference to something. It could be experience at a job. If that's the case here for a few of you, maybe you walked out on a job a while ago. Maybe you're re-entering that same job, and because you already have the experience there, it's time to be more tactical in order to get yourself to move up the ranks or to get better pay or to get a better position. You know, right now, whatever experience you have is going to take you to the finish line in something you're wishing to succeed in. So for those of you guys right now that have that experience and have that advantage, take it as best as you can and be as tactful as you can in order for your success to really go and in order for you to really shine here jumping into August 2022. You know, this could be about an advantage in your career because you have some sort of experience, an advantage in romance because of certain types of experiences you've had. You know, maybe some of you guys here are recognizing I'm in a similar position like I've been in with an ex-partner of mine, and the way that I handled it in my past wasn't good. But now that I had that experience in my past, I know how to handle things better now, and now I can look at this experience and better the relationship I'm currently in rather than have it go down a negative path like maybe the one in my past did, you know? So whatever experience you guys have here, use it to your advantage this month. I feel is the best message that I can give you. Be as tactful as you can and use the best tactics in order for you to get some sort of success here at the end of the day. So I'm not sure exactly how this will personally resonate to you, whether it's in your career, it's in your personal life, it's in your relationships. You know, there's something here you've had experience on due to a past experience, and that's really going to be super helpful for you here based upon what's going on right now in August 2022. So for those of you this does resonate to, use this to your advantage and you will see success so long as you take your past experiences and you look at how to do better now and you continue with a tactful attitude. You will see success and growth, all right? All right, Aries, cool. Let's keep it popping, pushing, and moving forward. Aries, hopping on into our Taurus now. Let's go ahead and see what's up, baby. What do we got going on here for Taurus? Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus throughout the month of August 2022. Let's go ahead and have a look. And we have here, look for what may be hidden. So Taurus, definitely time here to check out your intuitive capabilities. It's time to take a look at what is hidden beneath the surface. So I would definitely say it's a time to pay attention to red flags. If something feels slightly off-putting, maybe invest in that a little bit more to see what else is out there. I do feel like this is a good time to really tap into your awareness and just to be mindful of what's going on around you. Pay attention to how people are speaking about you, how people are communicating to you. Pay attention to the tone that people are portraying, because all of that can definitely give you a telltale sign to the fact that something might be going on. So looking for what may be hidden is more about being aware of what's going on around you, and if something does inherently feel off, tune into that feeling more because you may discover something. Moving on to the next message for you, Taurus. What do we got? What's going to be the next message here for Taurus? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus throughout their August 2022. And we have here upgrade in any way you can. So I do feel here for you guys, this is probably a message saying, hey, whatever does end up being revealed to you, definitely take that as a time for you to upgrade your life. For example, if you're recognizing that certain friends around you, if you end up coming to the conclusion and finding out that certain friends around you are not necessarily being the kindest to you, or are not necessarily the most honest, or maybe they're toxic, maybe they're talking behind your back, upgrade in any way you can. Upgrade the types of people you surround yourself with. Right? If you start to become aware here jumping into the month of August that people around you aren't nice or could be trusted, upgrade who you chill with. If your job is not giving you what you deserve and you start to tune into the fact that your job over here is not giving you the wages you deserve, not giving you any sort of hours you deserve, and the more aware you become of that, upgrade your job. If you deserve better pay and you deserve better hours and better treatment, screw it. It's time to upgrade. I feel like what your guides are trying to say here for you guys jumping into August is pay close attention to how you're being treated in life. Is it reflecting your worthiness? Is it reflecting your self-worth? Is it reflecting what you deserve? Because essentially, if you're not getting what you deserve, and if you're not getting the requirements of what it is you deserve, it's time for you to upgrade and get what you know you motherfucking deserve. Point blank period, Taurus. So I think that that's where this message is more so going. Your guides are trying to tell you, tap into your awareness here this month. If you start looking into your relationships, your friendships, if you start looking into your career, your personal goals, your own journey, and you're starting to notice things are not lining up that are in favor of your own self-worth and what you know you're deserving to have, then maybe it's time to upgrade to make sure you're getting everything you actually deserve. All right, Taurus? All right, baby. Let's keep it popping, pushing, and moving forward. Now hopping on into our Gemini. Let's go ahead and have ourselves a look. What do we got going on here for Gemini, please? Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus throughout their month of August 2022. What is going to be their first message? And the first message for you, Gemini, is it is sure to make things interesting. So there definitely is a situation showing up here that could be pretty interesting. I'm not sure if this is a situation that's going to require you to have to speak up about something, or if it's about taking a certain action and maybe other people seeing you take that action would have questions or opinions. Not sure what the case is just yet. Let's go ahead and have the next message come on through. All right, what's going to be the second message here for Gemini throughout their August 2022. And we do have here, you may be hanging on to an outdated ideal. So Gemini, it does feel here to me that your perspective, your opinion, or whatever it is that you value might be something that other people don't meet eye to eye with. This is kind of the energy I feel of you in your own lane doing your own thing that maybe other people don't necessarily agree about, maybe other people don't necessarily see things the same way you see them. And that right there is a tricky one because you feel a little bit isolated, you know? So it's bound to make things interesting when you're the odd man out. It's bound to make things interesting when you're solo dolo and you're going against the herd mentality and you're going against the crowd. You know, people are going to have their opinions, people are going to have their own types of perspectives and perceptions, and they're most likely going to be vocal about it because unfortunately that's just how some people are. Some people can't help themselves but to interject into other people's lives, and when people see somebody doing something that they find out of the norm, or that they find whatever type of opinion, you know, they're going to want to vocalize it. Now, what I would say here for you guys is that despite the fact that you might be hanging on to an outdated ideal, I don't necessarily feel that that's the worst thing in the world. Just because the way that you decide to do things might not be the same way that people are doing things today doesn't always make it wrong. So what I would say here for you, Gemini, is that whether we're referencing your career right now, your relationships, we're referencing your personal goals and what you're choosing to do in your life, if you're not keeping up with the crowd, that's not always such a bad thing because being able to do your own thing can also give somebody the opportunity to shine. So Geminis, for any of you guys right now dealing with this type of situation where you feel like you're isolated because the way you're doing things is not in alignment with others, that's not always the worst thing in the world. You know, for example, a lot of people back in the day, we all heard about it. It's like, oh, if you go to college and you get a degree, you're going to get the best job ever. In my generation growing up, a lot of people went to college, they got their degrees, and then guess what? They worked at Walmart. They didn't get the job they wanted. They spent a lot of money on school, and unfortunately, they didn't get into the career field they wanted to, even though they worked their butt off to get there. Now, that right there is the ideal, right? That's what people thought to do back in the day. It's like, if I go to college, I'm set for life. And unfortunately, that ideal was not the same, you know, coming into the generation that I come from. So what I would definitely say here for you guys is that despite the fact of what the herd mentality thinks is best, if you have found another route in life that you feel is cool, that you feel that you vibe with, and that you think you'll be successful in, you don't need to follow the herd in order for you to thrive. Point blank period. All right? That's what I would say my best advice would be, you know? And by the way, no shame on anybody that decided to go to college. You know, for example, I never decided to go to school because I felt that I would have wasted the money. I would have partied. I wouldn't have cared. I wasn't interested, you know, because every type of career that I could think of at that time that, revolved around some kind of schooling, it was never something I was personally interested in, you know? I always knew what I'm doing here right now. Not necessarily tarot, but something in the entertainment field. And something in the film field was something I wanted to do, and that's the route that I chose, and that was against the herd, right? The herd was like, go to college, and me, I was like, no, because I'm going to be successful in other ways. And that's why I think it's important, man. If you know what you're doing, you're good, period. So don't get caught up here, Gemini, on what other people have to say here with their opinions. Sure, it's going to make things interesting. People might try to make a spectacle out of you. People might try to isolate you even more, but screw it, man. If you know what you're doing, and you're happy with what you're doing, there's not an issue there, okay? All right, Gemini, let's keep it popping, pushing, and moving forward. Hopping on in now to the Cancer. Let's see what we got going on, baby. What do we got going on here for Cancer? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. What is going to be the first message for their August 2022? And the first message is going to be Cancer. It is significant. So definitely could be looking at a month of significance ahead. There could be something important happening, an important event, whatever that case may be. So something significant is going on here for you. Moving on to the next message here for you, Cancer. What's going to be the next message for Cancer throughout their August 2022? And we have here, you are sure to have support. I like that for you. So Cancer, we have the message, it is significant, and you are sure to have support. I think, honestly, what the most significant thing of this month is going to be is the fact of how much support you truly have that maybe you didn't know you had. I think that this is going to be a pretty big, shocking month for you, where you recognize how many people in your life truly support you and truly care about you. You know, maybe some of you guys here are going on a new type of career journey, and maybe you were a little afraid to do it, but you're kind of overwhelmed by the support you're getting from people surrounding you. Maybe other groups of Cancers here are deciding to get out of their element and to do something new with their own personal lives. I think there's going to be a lot of support behind that by people that are surrounding you, and it's just something that you didn't expect in this experience overall. So Cancers, whether you're changing up your career fields, changing up your relationships, changing up your personal life, or owning a part of yourself that never maybe previously was owned, I definitely think that lots of individuals surrounding you have your back, and they want to be there to embrace you, and they want to see you continue to succeed, which is a very comforting feeling to have. You know, I think sometimes as Cancerians, we tend to feel like we're super isolated because we tend to feel like maybe other people don't support us because they're not always actively showing it, you know? Sometimes people don't have to show their support by telling you they support you. Sometimes they show it in different manners. And I think that as a Cancerian, sometimes if we don't directly see that support, we're ignoring the other types of manners that people are showing it in. So with that being said, guys, you're going to see tons of support for what you're doing here. I wouldn't be afraid, Cancer, this month to go out of your element and do what you want to do, whether it's switching up the career space, switching up what you're doing with your personal life, switching up what's going on in your relationships, owning parts of yourself that never been owned before. Don't be afraid here to get out of your shell, guys, and let other people see it, because I think that they want to support you along the way, which is really, really beautiful. So Cancer, it's a super significant month here for you due to seeing how many people really love and care about you, and due to seeing how many people actually want to see you shine. There are more lovers out there, Cancer, for you than haters, and this month will prove that. All right, beautiful, man. Let's keep it popping, pushing, and moving forward. So we finished up our Cancer, now hopping on into the Leo, baby. What is going to be the first message here for Leo? Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus throughout August 2022. What is going to be the first message here for Leo? And the first message is going to be, it could cost you. So there's definitely something here that seems a little bit risky, a little bit tricky for you at your August mark. I would definitely say here for you, Leo, if something could cost you, you got to definitely evaluate if it's worth the risk. So I would be mindful here of taking risks, whether you're taking financial risks, taking any sort of risk in your love life. You know, this is a time where if you make one wrong move, this situation could backfire. This situation could cost you something. So I would definitely assess your risk management here. Having a look at the second message here for you, Leo. What's going to be the second message here for Leos throughout August 2022? And we have here, there is no guarantees. So there is something here trying to warn you, Leo. I definitely feel like this is a bit of a warning message of coming into your August 2022. Be careful of what you're doing. Really, really take a look at the risk assessment and if it's worth it, because right now there's no guarantee of success. There's no guarantee that something's going to work within your favor. So you really have to look at all the elements on whether or not taking this leap of faith is worth it for you. Now, I'm not going to be that person to tell you not to take a risk. I'm not going to be that person to tell you that you're going to fail or not going to succeed, because everybody has the capability to succeed. But there's a difference in taking a risk that you have faith in, that you know has that chance of success, versus taking a risk that you're not so confident in. And for some of you Leos here, this situation could be maybe you not feeling incredibly confident in yourself and what it is that you're doing, and that right there I would say is not worth the risk. If you're not confident enough, don't take that risk, because if you don't have the confidence to pull forward, when you encounter those troubles, it's going to add a lot of pressure. Now, looking at both messages, it is coming up as a warning. So I don't want any Leo to feel like I am trying to misguide them from taking whatever action or risk that they want to. What I'm going to tell you guys, though, is that definitely assess everything. Think of everything and every possible outcome before you take this jump or before you risk something in your life. Look at things and try to do it in the smartest way that you can, especially when it comes towards financial decisions. Always make sure, because I am not a financial advisor and I will never give financial advice, but always make sure, guys, that when it comes to that type of situation that you have a backup plan, right? For example, let's say you're ready to be a rock star, you're ready to be a musician, you want to quit your job and you want to start really working hard on your music. Make sure you got a crap ton of money or a good amount of money that's saved up that you can ride on if your music career is not working out or if it's taking a lot longer than expected. You know, always have that backup plan. Mix a little bit of practicality here and you'll go a long way for any sort of risk that you're taking this month. Make sure you're adding that practical element so that you have this backup plan in case something does go wrong. That's what my best advice would be here for you guys. There's no guarantee of success here is what it's saying, but it doesn't mean that you cannot succeed. You totally can. But if you are going to take a risk, always make sure that you have some sort of backup for you. Okay? All right, Leos, much love to you, man. Best of luck with whatever it is that you're doing, and always have that backup, okay? All right, baby. So we finished up Leo, hopping on into the Virgos now. Let's take a look and see what's going on with you. What's going to be the first message here for Virgo? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus throughout the month of August 2022. What is the first message here for Virgo? Having a look at it, we have here, it's time for you to go. So it's definitely time to take a look at that intuitive nudge and to roll with it. You know, it's time for you to go is that ultimate feeling of, all right, and my time here is over. I've definitely, you know, looked at a situation, been involved in a situation for quite some time, and I can tell I'm ready for the next best thing. So you could be getting that intuitive kick here, all right, Virgo, where you're recognizing, okay, I got to walk out of this relationship. I got to leave this friendship. I got to leave this job. I got to leave this habit. This habit. You know, there's something here that's just telling you, I got to go in a new direction. So definitely take a look at that. If you're starting to feel that, definitely tune into it and be aware. You know, if any of you Virgos are realizing in a certain relationship that you feel like it's time to walk away from it, you know, don't ignore that feeling. That feeling's there for a reason. For other Virgos that are starting to get fed up with their jobs and you're recognizing, oh my God, I can't do this anymore. You know, don't ignore that feeling, hone in on it and look at what you want to do next and where you want to set yourself up to go for your future. So having a look at this message as a whole, if you're getting that intuitive feeling that it's time to pull out of something, definitely don't ignore it, tune into it, and see where it's going to take you. Now, moving on to the second message for Virgo, what do we have? What is going to be the second message here for Virgo throughout August 2022? And we have here, use your imagination. I like this one for you because this is about getting creative, but actually this is also about taking a look at what you daydream about. When you think about your imagination, this is usually the energy of daydreaming, the energy of dreaming as a whole. So Virgos, for those of you guys that are getting that nudge to go, where are your dreams taking you? What are the things you're fantasizing about? What are the things you're daydreaming about? What are the things your soul really is craving and really wants to do? Because most of the time, right, if we're not present and enjoying what we're doing, if we're not doing that, we're usually daydreaming. And if we're daydreaming, the reason we're doing that is because we're imagining ourselves somewhere far better than where we currently are. So I would say really hone in on what it is you're daydreaming about here coming into August 2022. Who says your dreams cannot be your reality? For those of you guys that are currently sitting in a corporate building doing an office job and you're daydreaming about being an artist, you know, start that path, man. Go ahead, start that freaking path and see where it'll take you. For those of you guys that are in relationships with somebody, but you're daydreaming about being single and at the club, maybe it's time to break up with your partner and it's time to go be single and go to the club and have fun and be young and party. You know, at the end of the day, your imagination is always going to tell you what the soul is craving. So I definitely feel like this month is that time for you to start going towards your daydreams and making decisions upon those. It's definitely time to start going after what you actually want, because your daydreams are showing you what you want, especially if you're escaping the current reality you're involved in. So if you're getting that kick in the nads, all right, over here Virgo, telling you, all right, I gotta get out of a situation, I gotta let a cycle end and start a new chapter of my life, start the chapter of where you really want to go instead. Okay, all right Virgo, let's keep it popping, pushing, and moving forward. We finished up our Virgos, now hopping on over to our Libra. Let's go ahead and see what's up, baby. What do we got going on here for Libra? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus during August 2022. What is going to be the first message here for Libra? And that message is going to be, consider it an opportunity. So something here may not come up as an opportunity. It may not look like an opportunity at first, but if you consider it as an opportunity, you will see a whole different perspective is what I'm seeing here for you. Moving on to the next message for you, Libra. What's going to be the next message for Libras throughout August 2022? And we have here, a substantial effort will be required. So Libra, there is definitely something showing up here for you that I think at first you are very uninterested. It's unappealing, it's not what you want, it was not anything you expected. But if you put some effort in it and you look at it as an opportunity, there's a really good thing in front of you. I think that this is all about having a perspective and perception and a perception change. And if you're willing to adapt to that, you will see something completely different. You know, maybe you got a job and it wasn't the job you intended to get, but if you were to look at it as an opportunity, and if you were to put effort and work in it, maybe this job could take you to where you really want it to go. For example, let's say you want to be a person who's a manager, but you didn't get the manager position, you got the employee position. Look at it as an opportunity to work your way to being a manager, right? Because essentially you could still be the manager, but if you continue to work hard enough, you'll get there. You might be the employee now, who says in a year or two, you won't be the manager. So I think that that's what this message is really trying to embrace. You know, you may not get exactly what you want here coming into August 2022, but if you put the effort in and you see it as an opportunity to get to where you want to go, the more effort you put in there, the more closer you're going to get to where you want to be. So don't be afraid if you start at square one and you're not at square 100 where you want to be, because even if there's 99 ways or 99 steps between that 100th step, you can still get there, okay? So I want you guys to keep that in mind. Definitely try to keep that positive perception of like, okay, I might not be exactly where I wanted yet, but it doesn't mean that I can't work to get there. It doesn't mean that I'm also that far off either, all right? So definitely keep on putting in the work here, man, and you guys will see something really wonderful. All right, baby, let's keep it popping, pushing, and moving forward. All right, we finished up our Libra, hopping on into our Scorpio. Let's see what's up, baby. What do we got going on here for Scorpio? Let's get the first message here for Scorp. Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus throughout August 2022. What is going to be the first message for Scorpio here? And we got here, look for what may be hidden. So, taking a look here for August 2022, this is definitely one of these messages that tell you to tap into your awareness and to be mindful of what's going on surrounding you. There could be something right now that's going on in the background that maybe you're not seeing, and it could be a positive thing as well. It doesn't necessarily have to be something negative. Considering about looking for what may be hidden, this could be about seeing those hidden gems of love, seeing those hidden gems of positivity that are crowning you and surrounding you, especially when you're in dark and stressful times. What I will say is that if you're a Scorpio who's in a pretty stressful time, there's probably something really wonderful occurring in the background of your life that maybe hasn't captured all of your attention. So look into your awareness of the good things going on surrounding you. There's always something good happening. There's always something a little rough happening, but life has the balance of both. So if you feel that you're in that stressed out space, take a look at what's hidden, that hidden gem of positivity, that hidden gem of love, hidden gem of happiness that maybe you haven't seen before. Maybe it's time to tune your frequency to something more positive that's currently happening in your life. Moving on to the next message for you. What's going to be the next message here for Scorpios, please, throughout their August 2022? And we have here, follow through on your obligations. So, Scorpio, one thing I will say is that following through on obligations suck. Another zodiac sign today actually got this message as well. Following through on obligations suck. having to do the things you have to do, they suck. But ultimately, at the end of it all, obligations are there for a reason. There's certain things that even if we may not like doing them, they have to be done and they have to be taken care of. So what I would say here for you is try to look at the good thing that comes from doing said obligation. For example, maybe we're not all entirely interested in making sure that we clean our physical environment. You know, sometimes our physical environment can get a little messy, we're tired, we don't feel like cleaning. But remember, when we look at an environment on a physical level, sometimes when the environment is messy, our emotions can be messy, our energy can be a little bit messy as well. But then when you clean up, don't you feel a lot better? Have you ever noticed when you reorganize a messy room, suddenly your energy feels super organized as well? Your physical what's the word that I'm looking for? Environment can literally be the same exact thing of what you're energetically feeling. So what I would say here for you guys is like, hey, it sucks to follow up with obligations sometimes, but if we can look at the positive thing that'll come from doing it, that would come from following up with it, then we will start to see more and better results, right? For example, what is the great thing that'll come from cleaning up our space? We'll be feeling better energetically. If our space is structured and organized, we'll feel structured and organized. So even though certain obligations aren't always the most fun thing to do, when we look at the goal that comes from doing it, when we look at the positive thing that comes as the outcome, it might make it a little bit easier to follow up on what you need to do. So Scorpios, jumping into your month here of August 2022, there might be a couple of things you're obligated to that you're not interested in pursuing, but if you know that these are things you can't back out on, use the positive outcome to motivate you to get through them. I think that that would be the best advice that I could provide here for you, okay? Now, another thing I will say, though, too, is that if there are certain things you feel like you're obligated to that maybe isn't necessarily an obligation at all, then don't put it so high on the priority list. You know, if you don't feel like being obligated anymore to a partner that you're not happy with, who's to say that you're obligated to stay with that person? Remember, we have free will, and if we're unhappy in certain relationships, we also have the right to walk away. So don't get yourself caught up in false obligations. There are certain things we're obligated to do to take care of ourselves, of course, when it comes towards family and when it comes towards children and when it comes towards making sure that we're good on a personal level. But if there are things that you don't want that certain commitment to, then make sure that you're not keeping yourself tied to any false obligations either, would be another room of my advice that I can give you too. Okay? Alright, Scorpio, let's keep it popping, pushing, and moving forward. Hopping on in now to the Sagittarius. Let's see what we got going on, baby. What do we got coming up here for Saggy? Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. What is going to be the first message for their August 2022? And we have here, take the lead. Oh yeah, it is time for you guys here to be the Leo for the month. Definitely time here to go ahead and take the lead and to be that lion that's on top of Pride Rock. I really do feel here for you, Sagittarius, that it's time for you guys to take a lead in regards to your path, whatever your path may be. It could be about stepping up in your relationship, stepping up in your career, or even stepping up for yourself, because sometimes we can be in a position in life where we feel like we are just not going forward and nobody else is going to push us as hard as we can push ourselves. So if you're a Sagittarius and you feel like you've kind of just been floating around in life recently and you've kind of been waiting on things to happen for you, don't wait for things to happen for you. Make things happen for you. Take the lead. Open up. Start to get those paths going by taking action. I really do feel here that if you take the lead, that's going to be your first part to getting to that success. Now, moving on to the next message that we do have here for you. What is going to be the next message here for Sagittarius? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus throughout August 2022. And we have here, keep an open mind. For sure. For sure. When we're taking the lead, when we're taking action as a whole, you know, if you don't have an open mind, you're not going to get very far. You know, the most successful people are the people that believe in the fact that they can do anything. You know, if you have a very limited mind and a very limited perspective, you're going to find yourself stuck at what you can do and what it is you're capable of doing. People with limited minds accomplish limited things, and to be completely honest with you, Sag, you are more than a limited person. You're an infinite being, okay, with infinite possibilities. So I feel that the more you open yourself up to the ideology that you are a person capable to accomplish infinite things, you will start to see infinite results. There is nothing you cannot do in this world you are more than competent of taking care of. You are more than competent to do anything. And I think that it's really important to start embracing that mentality, guys. Of course, we'll have strengths, of course, we'll have weaknesses, but weaknesses can be improved and strengths can be even stronger. And I think that that's a great perspective to keep on moving throughout life, and I think that it's something that'll really benefit you. So for those of you guys right now that are dealing with a situation like this, take the lead, keep an open mind, and you never know how far you can go. You really can make it to the finish line, and after the finish line there's always something more to accomplish. So Sagittarius, my best advice for you is, if you've kind of just been taking a step back, if you've been feeling like you've been a bit in the, you know, passenger seat in life, jump into the driver's seat. Start going to where you want to go. Keep an open mind of how far you can go, because you can go further than what you even imagine. And for those of you guys that feel like, okay, well, there's something I want, but I feel that I'm weak in that area, remember there's room for improvement. And for those of you that are like, okay, well, I'm strong at doing this, there's also room for improvement, because your strength can become stronger. Your weaknesses can become stronger. That's Sag. Unfortunately, my camera died. But as I was trying to say, at the end of the day, what's most important is that you can strengthen your strengths and you can also strengthen your weaknesses. So with that being said, there is nothing you cannot accomplish. Everything is accomplishable, okay? So definitely continue to keep an open mind here and continue to take the lead, and you'll be surprised at how far you go, all right? Keep up that positive mentality, man. Okay, all right, Sagittarius, let's keep it popping, pushing, and we finished up our Sagittarius. Now jumping on into our Capricorn. Let's see what's up, baby. What do we got going on here for Cappy? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus throughout August 2022. What is going to be the first message here for Capricorn? And that first message is going to be, it will create a stir. So Capricorn, something you're doing here will definitely create a stir is what I'm seeing. I'm not sure if it's about a certain action you're taking, a certain type of path you decided to take, whatever the case may be. There's something here that will create a stir. So I do feel like this can be a negative thing. It can also be a positive thing as well. It doesn't have to be, negative. It could be positive, but whatever you're doing here, it's going to gain some traction. It's going to gain the attention of other people. Now, having a look at the next message that we do have here for you, what's going to be the next message for Capricorn throughout August 2022, and that is going to be to ensure the best decision, be calm. So I think that Capricorn, whatever you're doing right now could be something that involves lots and lots of emotions. You might be involved in a situation right now where you feel like you've been walking on eggshells, and it's kind of like, I feel like if I'm damned if I do and damned if I don't. That's the energy I think that's coming through the most for you. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. It's like, if I make this choice, it's going to impact another person. It's going to impact myself. And at the end of the day, I'm going to have to deal with how the other person responds to it and reacts to it. And it is what it is. There's kind of like no escape here, is what you're feeling. So to ensure the best decision, be calm here is probably the best advice that it's literally telling you. I think that right now, if you feel like you're walking on eggshells with somebody, but there's also things you have to get off your chest, the best thing you can do is bring it up to them in a calm manner and say the piece as respectfully as you can and say what you need to say as best as you can. And whether or not the person reacts and responds to it in a positive way or reacts and responds to it in a really negative way, it kind of is what it is. You have to put yourself out there sometimes and let everything just happen the way it needs to, because the more you feel like you're walking on eggshells, the more repressed your feelings and emotions are going to be. So what I'd say here for you guys is that, look, if you have to get something off your chest here, Capricorn, it might create a stir. It might make somebody else uncomfortable. It might make somebody else emotional, but what needs to be said needs to be said. So I do feel like this is a moment where something has to be getting off your chest or has to be taken off your chest. And you know what? You might feel damned if you do and damned if you don't, because if you don't, you're going to continue to walk on eggshells and be unhappy. And if you do, it might hurt somebody else's feelings. But ultimately, by putting what you need to put out there and saying what you need to say, it is what it is, how other people react and respond to it, because that is without your control. It's no longer in your control. It's outside of your control. So what I would say, guys, is don't make yourself suffer. If you are really repressing a lot of feelings and emotions here coming up in August 2022, if you have to convey something to your partner, to your friend, to your parents, to whoever, it may be a situation where it might hurt somebody else, irritate somebody else, or it might make them emotional, but what needs to be said needs to be said. You should always be that person living in your truth as much as possible, and even if the truth hurts, at least it's real. And the more that you kind of hold back and repress what it is you're feeling, the worse you're going to feel. So I get that energy of feeling I'm damned if I do and damned if I don't, because if I don't, I'm going to feel like shit. And if I do, somebody else might be mad. But as long as you guys are trying to convey what you need to say as best as you can, there is nothing more you can do that's in your control based upon how the other person will react and respond. So that would be my best advice. Try to have a calm conversation. Get your opinion out there, get your feelings out there, say what needs to be said on your part, and at the end of the day, from there, everything's out of your control. Kind of leave up that situation to the universe and to the person based on how they react and respond, and at least you guys don't have to be in a position anymore where your own feelings and emotions are being repressed because you were scared to admit them based on somebody else's reaction. You're not in control, and you're also not responsible for the ways that other people react to what your truth is and to what you feel. Those people have to be in control of how they react to, your situation and how they're feeling, right? So what I would say here for you, Capricorn, is definitely to open up so that you don't get into a position where your feelings continue to be repressed, and leave the situation up to the person. Hopefully it works out well, and leave it up to the universe and take it from there. The best thing you can do here is open up. I think that would be my best advice here for you, okay? All right, Cappy, so for those of you guys that are dealing with that, just do remember to ensure the best decision, be as calm as possible, be as calm as conversating with this individual and explaining your side and explaining how you feel, and leave it up to there, you know? Go ahead and put your feelings out on the table, your cards out on the table, and then the ball will be in this person's court. All right? All right, Cappy. Let's keep it popping, pushing, and moving forward. So, we just did our Capricorn. Moving on forward now to our Aquarius. Let's see what's up, baby. What do we got going on here for Aqua? Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus throughout August 2022. What information do we got showing up here for Aquarius? And the first message is going to be, take your time. So Aquarius, this is not a time to rush right now in whatever it is that you're doing. Don't be afraid that you're going too slow. Do everything at your own pace here is the overall solidified message. Now, whether this is about taking your time in your career, taking your time in your love life, taking your time being single, taking your time with your friends, you know, don't be afraid of rushing life, man. We don't always have to rush. The more we rush, by the way, too, usually the harsher our results are. So for those of you guys that are finding yourselves in a situation this month where you might feel a little bit crunched for time, I don't think that it is that way. You might be feeling pressure to get something done quickly, but don't feel that way at all. The more you take your time, the better the results are going to be. For those of you guys that are working on projects, of course, don't rush those. Go at your pace. For those of you guys that are healing, guys, don't rush the healing process. You know, when you feel like you're ready, when you feel like you're healed, when you feel like you've gone through what you needed to go through, then you're solid. There's no timestamp on healing, and that's the best thing I can say to anybody out here right now that is currently healing. If you're an Aquarius right now and you've gone through something really big and you're hurting, and you know, it sucks to do that. It sucks to hurt. It sucks to heal, but at the end of the day, don't rush that, because when you rush your healing process, you're going to leave so much left over that was never ever healed from, and it's definitely going to carry out into your future, which is the last thing that you want to do. So for any Aquarians that are in the period of healing, take your time with it. There's no timestamp on healing. You heal when you're healed, okay? All right, guys, that's the first message. Moving on to the second one for you, Aqua. What's going to be the next message for Aquarius? Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus throughout August 2022. And that message is going to be, you'll be happy you did. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So you'll be happy that you definitely took your time here. For Aquarians here, once again, that are in the period of healing, you'll be happy that you went through all the hard times and you did everything to the best of your abilities, because once you've healed, everything is out. There's nothing left to worry about. There's no more emotional residue. So you'll be happy you did, for those of you that are dealing with healing. For other groups of Aquarians that are dealing with like a project this month, you'll be a lot happier that you took your time, because it's going to come out flawless. For Aquarians here that have to take their time in their careers, or that are being told to take their time in their relationships, you'll be happy you did as well. Rushing in relationships is one of the harshest things that you can do to that relationship, because not only are you not giving any breathability to you and the partner, you're not giving yourself time to get to know them deeper, and you're not giving them time to get to know you deeper. And then you might get to that point where you recognize that there are certain things that both of you don't resonate on, and because the both of you don't resonate on these aspects, it can cause a lot of combative energies. So I would definitely say, for those of you guys that are dealing with romance, dealing with projects, dealing with healing, dealing with anything that requires some time and dedicated effort, and it requires your own pace, do not rush it, because I don't feel like you'll get the best result. Go at your own pace and you will see everything that you've wanted to see. You will definitely get the better accomplishment by going at your pace, okay? All right, Aquarius, take that how that resonates. Hopefully it resonates to some of y'all. Moving on here to the Pisces, baby. Let's see what we got going on for the fish. What do we got showing up here for Pisces? Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus throughout August 2022. What information do we got showing up here, please, for the zodiacs of Pisces? Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus throughout their August 2022. Having a look at the first message out, Pisces, we have here, let your emotions guide you. Now, being a water sign, everybody knows water signs have very, very heightened emotions, and we have the ability to connect with such depth when it comes towards our emotions as well. So letting your emotions guide you here seemed to be a very powerful thing for you coming into August 2022. If you're feeling incredibly passionate about something, dive into that passion, man. When you have passion for something that makes you feel like your soul is on fire, you're burning for it, you're going to find yourself in such a solid position, because the more passionate you are, the more successful people tend to be. Passion is a wonderful motivator, but it's also a wonderful creator when you think about it in that retrospect. So let your emotions guide you here. Now, for those of you guys that aren't dealing with passion, maybe you're dealing with a situation that you feel like something's a little bit off-putting, you know, this could be a message that's telling you, hey, follow through with what it is you're intuitively feeling. feeling. I mean, Pisces, coming into August here, if you got a bad feeling about something, if you got an off-putting feeling about something, chances are that feeling is trying to communicate something with you. So the more that you tune into what your emotions are telling you, the better of a time you're going to have, because this is the energy of overall being intuitively guided. So if you're feeling pulled to something on an emotional level, go towards that. Get that magnetic attraction. If you're feeling put off by something, repel from it. Chances are there's a reason there. Okay, so what I would say is, by letting your emotions guide you, this will be how you see the most success for your month ahead. Now, moving on to the second message here for you, Pisces. What's going to be the next message here for Pisces? Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus throughout August 2022. And we have here, don't be too demanding. So what this is saying to me here, Pisces, is like, sometimes we try to override what our emotions are telling us. Sometimes we try to override what our intuition is saying. We're like, okay, even though I feel this way, I'm going to try to push through it and do something different, or I'm going to try to push through it and do something else. This is about the energy of like, don't push it. That's what I'm hearing here for you, Pisces. If your emotions are telling you, I'm too drained to do something, don't push yourself to do it. Rest. Take a break. Recuperate. Rejuvenate. This is the message that I'm getting there for you. It's like, don't push yourself past what you're feeling and what you want to do. If your emotions are telling you right now, I'm in a good space, I can keep doing more, keep doing more. If your emotions are telling you, I need a break, take that break. I feel that the more that you pay attention to what your emotions are telling you, and the more that you structure your month surrounding that, the better results you're going to see. All right, so for any Pisceans here that are feeling any type of way, whatever type of emotion you're feeling, roll with it, let it guide you. For Pisceans, though, that are trying to push beyond that and push beyond what it is they're feeling, you might find yourself in a very rough spot. So try not to overwork yourself. Try not to move past what your emotions are telling you. Try not to ignore them. Just be very, very involved in what you're feeling. Be very aware of what you're feeling and continue to navigate around your month based off that. If you know you're in a good energy to do something, then go ahead and take advantage of that. But if you know that you're in a bad energy and it's not really going to help you in what it is you're doing, maybe take that step back, okay? Just make sure you tune into what you're feeling and what your emotions are telling you, and it'll be a great way to continue to guide you throughout the rest of this month ahead, okay? All right, Pisces, much love to you, man. Let's keep it popping, pushing, and moving forward. Guys, thank you all so much, man, for coming out to the Book of Answers for August 2022. Really, really appreciate it. Hope you guys enjoyed it. As always, I love doing this series. I've been having lots of fun with it recently. We've made it about a once-a-month thing. I didn't end up doing July because July was just a hectic month for me, but happy that we knocked this out for August, and I hope you guys had fun with it, man. Thank you for being here. For any of you guys that are new, please do consider subscribing and joining the Soul family. If you're new here, definitely consider subbing. Go ahead and turn on those notifications as well so you never miss when I upload or when I go live, okay? All right, guys, I love you all. Have a fantastic and amazing rest of your day. Enjoy your August, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.